Let's
Welcome,
go.
welcome back, sir.
It's been a minute.
I'm actually sitting here with levels and dark visors and the St. Francis
versus
the St. James at Under Armour HQ, dog.
That's crazy.
We made it. I feel like we made it.
Look, we finally got in here, right?
We're not going to tell anybody, but we're like one of the only independent media teams here.
Shh. Don't let the world know.
Exclusive access. Brent, how do you feel today being here in this type of environment and atmosphere? It's hard to believe this is high school football.
Bro, from when we started Dog Visors to where we are today, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like this environment, I can't wait for the fans to start rolling in, seeing all the people, but undefeated versus undefeated.
Little college game day win. High school game day win.
Yeah, let me put our phones down on top. Maybe put our phones down on top, hold this down a little bit.
There you go. We don't have first one outside, dog. We'll get it right. We'll get it right.
It takes time. Takes time. Nah, man, I can't wait for the fans to get here. This game, we've waited all season for it.
Yep.
Both teams are coming in undefeated. Like, that's what we wanted, right? So St. James has been doing their thing, first-year academy. We all know the pedigree that St. Francis has. I'm excited to see what's about to happen here today.
Yeah.
And, of course, look, like you said, look where we are.
Right.
Baltimore, Under Armour, right here in the back. This is going to be epic. This is going to be epic.
Yeah, so we one of our camera guys, Connor, was actually taking some predictions, and you had a close game prediction.
I did. I threw out 35 St. James, 34 St. Francis, and a missed field goals in the cost the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna roll the dice, and I'm gonna say that St. James wins very, very convincingly. Yeah, I know the fans are gonna say, "Oh, he's what do the kids say nowadays?
He's
glazing St. James." But listen, guys, there's a reason. There's a reason that St. James is getting a lot of the attention, both positive and negative attention, that you would normally see or experience if you were doing something great.
Yep.
There's a reason why when they face teams in the traditional leagues like the WCAC, there's a reason they limit media exposure.
Right. It's like, we don't want y'all showing up.
There's a reason for that. So I think that there was once a boogeyman in the area who was coming for the traditional powerhouses and making a stake in the area and taking souls. But I think the boogeyman's boogeyman is here. That's how I feel.
I like it.
That's how I feel.
I like it.
Yeah, I think the boogeyman's boogeyman is here. And what a time right after Halloween. I think it's going to get very spooky for St. Francis. I really do. I do.
I'm excited for this one, man. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah.
So let's get into it.
Let's
get into it.
Okay, so some Nova football talk, man.
Yeah.
We had some big surprises this year, some not big surprises this year. What are some teams that have been surprising you, or what are some teams that have been just kind of putting?
You want to start with the elephant in the room?
Yeah, man. Let's go ahead.
Start? All right, let's talk about it.
All right.
Our alma mater, Centerville High School. You guys have impressed us. Seriously impressed us this year. You're going into your last game 8-1, running the gamut of the teams, pounding teams. Scores are crazy. What are your thoughts on Centerville? We know with Will Shields at the helm, he's got a weapon outside in Jordan Simpson, and he's got a good running back in Cardinal Stover.
Yeah. Well, I think that when you talk about Centerville and you talk about the tradition at that high school, what you're talking about is district championship over district championship. And so it's nice to see them back into the district championship fold. Now, when it comes to what has helped Centerville become successful into their deep runs of the playoffs, what you traditionally have seen is a strong run game and a strong defense.
Yep.
You can take it back all the way to 2000. You can do it in the later 2000s. Centervilles that have traditionally made their runs have had a phenomenal running game.
Yep.
Not necessarily the most phenomenal running backs, right? But a phenomenal running game.
Yep. Solid.
And a defense that knows how to fly around and give their offense extra possessions. but most particularly a defense that knows how to shut down the run.
Yes.
The teams that have been successful against Centerville this year have been teams that can run against Centerville this year. In the one game that they lost, Kellen Lewis ran crazy. He had a Heisman day.
Yeah.
In the game that was close against Westfield, I mean, those that
BJ
two had
Sutherland
and BJ Johnson. I think they both had really good games. But that's been my critique about Westfield this entire year. Is like, why are we trying to throw the ball 25 times a game when you have the
horses
in the backfield?
Right,
so,
yeah.
I love what Coach Shields is doing this year, and I wish him all the success in the world. But I don't necessarily know if you're throwing the rock at their capacity this late into the season, especially as we start to head towards those later Thanksgiving games.
Well, that's why I mentioned Cardinal. Their running back is good, so they have a running game.
Okay.
Will's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
After seeing him in person, I can now speak on it. Right. Hadn't seen him at all until we went to that Centerville Chantilly.
But they're
game.
also giving up 28 points a game.
And that's the flip side of it. The defense is bend don't break.
Right.
Very bend don't break. And
Sure.
that's not traditional Centerville, but the offense is picking up the slack. But to your point, we are getting later in the season, and when you get later in the season, you have to make those critical stops at the critical moments.
Yep.
So your offense can go out and do what they're supposed to do and put points on. So if their defense can make those stops, they have a chance. I'm going to say regionals. Let's get to regionals. I'm not going to go past region right now because we're heading into playoffs.
Right.
Right? They're Concorde district champs, so they're going to get a bye. They're going to have that district bye, and then they're going to have regional semis, and if they win that game, we're looking at them in the regional final. So we'll see, but from where we were a couple years ago to where we are this year, the change is massive, and as alums, I believe we're happy with what we're seeing right now.
Sure.
Right? So second in the Concorde, Westfields. And I know you kind of jumped the gun on that, but what are your thoughts on them?
Yeah, I mean, I think the couple games that we've seen Westfield, it seems as if though the only people that can beat Westfield is Westfield.
Yeah, I agree.
Right, when they start to, I mean, don't get me wrong, they have a freak out wide receiver on the outside, but when we start to get the ball, try to get the ball in his hands too many times, I think we get away from our strengths, and our strengths at Westfield High School has always been the run game. Yeah. It's always been line you up in a pro-style set and, run a very, very technically sound zone type of run scheme. We're going to beat you on duo. We're going to beat you on down. We're going to beat you on, and we're going to throw, we're going to pitch it to the outside and let our athletes beat you on short yardages. And then we're going to nut up and play really solid defense and really technical sound defense. So I think they have a strong possibility and a strong chance. But when we talk about the deeper and the later run into the season, you're not going to get too many chances against teams that are going to allow you to make the mistakes that Westfield makes when they lose games.
Right.
In the couple of games that we've seen them play, even in the Oakton game, they had opportunities to put that game away, but they let Oakton hang around.
They did. So,
I also think the same about Woodbridge on the other side.
Oh, we're going to get to them.
I also think the same about them. So that's how I feel about Westfield.
All right. So now we're going to cover top three, right? So let's talk about number 3 is Madison. And for the last couple of years, Madison's been number 1 in the Concorde. But, this is a rebuild year, we would call it.
Sure.
Because I think what Count said is they're older, but they're inexperienced. So they started off 0-2, and they've managed their way back to making their record at 5-4 right now, to sit in third in the Concorde. So no bye week. Same with Westfield's, no bye week. And we saw Madison in person. Now, unfortunately, the competition they played wasn't up to par. They lost to Westfields by a point. When they played Centerville, I'm not 100% on the score, so I don't want to misquote myself, but I do know that the running back had 370 yards against Centerville. So back to your point from earlier, right?
Yep.
You got to shore up that defense, because if you're letting the kid right here in your own district put up 370 on you in a game,
Right.
What's going to happen when you hit them South teams?
In a year that they're supposed to be rebuilding their skill guys and skill positions.
Right.
So, yeah.
It looks like they might be able to shine back next year. But hey, good on a turnaround. Good turnaround. Way to bounce back. And way to make yourself in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, championship pedigree matters.
Yes.
And even though those guys don't necessarily have the experience that Coach Counts wants them to have, what they do have is they've been around playoffs before.
Right.
And so when you're facing teams like Westfield, maybe that doesn't matter as much. But when you're facing a team like Centerville, whose class may not have seen a playoff type of environment,
that could change everything.
it could change everything. Right. And you never know, especially with teenage boys, you never know what guy's going to show up.
Right.
Maybe he's Freddy Krueger on Friday, but on Saturday he's a bunny.
Right.
So you just never know. You never know. What I do know is that Coach Counts and his team has been there before. Westfield as a program has been there before.
Traditionally, yep.
And
Centerville usually
they're
right.
there, and it's hard to beat the same team twice.
Facts.
So you're probably going to see, if I were a betting man, you're probably going to see a Westfield or a Centerville versus Madison game at some point.
At some point.
Yeah.
If not Centerville versus Westfield again.
Well, I mean, you're going to have to see one of those games anyway.
Right.
So I'm calling the shot. I just think it's hard to beat Coach Counts twice.
It is.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Woodbridge. It's the Cardinal district.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Woodbridge is number 1. We saw them in person, and we know Caleb from back in 2023. We saw him at a 7-on-7.
Right.
And let me tell you, from 7-on-7, he was throwing dots. To the game we saw him, he was throwing dots. The kid looks amazing.
Yep.
He's got 31 TDs on the season. And I'm really impressed with how he has commanded that offense. But on the flip side of Woodbridge, we got to give props to that defense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They got their two defensive ends, number 4 and number 13, and they were just wrecking Colgan. And not shading Colgan at all. Maybe that wasn't the caliber of game that we were expecting it to be. But I do believe that Woodbridge is going to have a good run. Now, they're going to have to play a Patriot or a Battlefield. I'm not sold on Independence at 3 in that side of the bracket. So I definitely think it's going to come down to that. And I know that they do, either they did or they do have to play Forest Park still.
Okay.
So let's see what happens next week. That's a whole nother segment we could talk about when that games are all said and done. But I think that Woodbridge, from what I saw, I was impressed. But I also, you did let Colgan move the ball up and down the field. So to your point, that defense does need to shore up a little spots here.
Yeah.
And the offense was a little slow to start. If you agree. I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think, just in general, I believe that it's Battlefield at number 1. Like, I think, no, I'm telling you what my opinion is. I don't really care who won the head-to-head matchup.
My fault. No, I got you.
You have Patriot and Woodbridge at number 2, like 2A and 2B.
Okay.
And then you have, it really doesn't matter after that.
Right.
Unless Forest Park is healthy. Because I think the talent level in that region just drops off after Patriot and Woodbridge. And I really don't believe that the talent starts to peak again until Forest Park with a healthy Kellen Lewis enters the equation. I've always thought that Colgan was on fraud alert. I just don't believe that their program is where it should be right now from the personnel that they push out every single year.
I mean, you're tapped in. You live in that count. You live in PWC. So
yeah,
you
I just think, like,
stuff.
if you look at them up front, they're not very big, and I think their athletes keep them in a lot of games.
They do.
You know, I think athletically, that side of Prince William County is always going to win their share of the athletes that they put out. So I think they're going to be naturally gifted across the board at the skill position. But when you talk about the trenches matter. And one of the things that I was really impressed about Woodbridge is that I for the first time in high school football, couldn't tell if it was the run that sets up the pass or if it was the pass that sets up the run. They are very sound offensively when it comes to putting up points. And when you're able to put up points like that, you put teams in a really tough position because you make them one-dimensional.
Yep.
That's what Colgan had to do, was they had to become pass-heavy. And when you're pass-heavy against any high school team, you're going to move the ball up and down the field because nobody is 2-3 deep at the public high school level.
Yeah.
And, those horses, they get tired too. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, Colgan was going to move the ball up and down the field, but that's because, A, the run was being shut down, and B, except for like a couple of long runs that got away from him. But B, the defensive line, to your point, is ready. Like those dudes are going to get after it. They're going to put pressure on your offensive tackles. And I really think they're well coached as well.
Yes.
Woodbridge is very, very well coached, and I'm really, really sad that we couldn't get that coach on the pod for maybe for the off season.
Absolutely, especially because we have a relationship with them from 7-on-7.
Yeah, yeah. So, but Battlefield and Patriot are always going to remain supreme in that region for the simple fact that they just eat a little bit more steak and eggs over there with their trenches. You know what I mean? And like I said, trenches matter in the playoffs, in Nova football playoffs. If you want to make it out of this area, your front seven has to be better than their front seven.
Absolutely.
And what Patriot will do in the playoffs and what they traditionally do when they have big games is they slow it down. They eat up that clock.
Yeah,
their defense
they
pound that rock. They get 1 or 2 possessions that their offense needs, and they sit on the ball again. They make you panic on your playbook, right? Because you don't know the next time you're going to get the ball. Yep. They're going to go first and 10, second and 6, third and 2, first and 10, second and 6, third and 2. They're going to do that all the way down the field, and they don't care if they do it. And they're going to get the ball back and do it all over again. So, if they want to make the game 14-3 or 14-7, that's what they're going to do, and they're going to be happy with it. Battlefield, I really like Battlefield for the simple fact that the strengths that that region has are athletes on the outside. The strengths that Battlefield has on defense are athletes on the outside.
Yeah, Keaton Ramey.
Exactly.
Right.
So they have D1 DBs on the outside, and everybody in that region thinks that their wide receivers are DB beaters on the outside. So if you're going to go into Battlefield and try to pass the rock 35 times a game, it's not happening.
Nope.
It's not happening. And credit to South Lakes. Right, when we went and saw South Lakes, they did not pass the ball 45 times a game, and they took them to the wire. Right, they let their little running back there run wild, full head like 20 carries for 90 yards. It wasn't anything crazy, and then then they spread them out, and their young quarterback ran wild in the back from the backfield, and extended plays, and was able to make some plays on his feet, and kept Battlefield on the field, their defense on the field. And if it weren't for that free kickoff return at the end of the game, we would be having a different conversation about Battlefield and the recipe it takes to beat them. Yep. But I think that if you're a coach and you're watching the South Lakes game, what you're doing is you're shutting down the outside. We've only seen Brent. We've only seen Battlefield play one time, right?
We have.
What is they try to get their athletes on the outside.
They do.
Okay?
They were pass heavy.
They were pass heavy and try to get their athletes on the outside. Yes, they had a young quarterback because that was one of his first games starting. Yeah.
Unfortunately, they lost Callum O'Shea.
Right, exactly.
Season starter.
But when you expose yourself like that on film, you're teaching teams how to undress you and beat you. And so what that film told me was, let's minimize the outside play and let's minimize the run game and let's put the hands in their quarterback, right? Because I'm sorry, but you're not beating me on dig routes all day, and you're not beating me on comeback routes all day, and that's all they had in their trees, and that's all they had in their packages. All those athletes out there, and you ran digs, you ran comebacks, and you ran screens.
Now, I wish you would have seen them. Do you think that maybe they ran that set of plays because he was in his first official start? Maybe the playbook's expanded as we're into week 10 now.
Yeah.
So we don't know. I would love to see them again.
Sure,
but 22 was a dog. They're running back.
No, he was definitely a dog.
Yeah.
Black is
they didn't use him enough.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because I don't think when you're starting a young quarterback, 3rd and 7 is very difficult.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
And so how do I give the ball to a kid X amount of times per game and make sure I'm putting my quarterback in 3rd and 5 or less? Right? And South Lakes was crunch in the middle.
Yeah, they were run stuffers.
And they were minimizing the outside play. And to your point, yes, the playbook could have expanded, but the young boy was throwing arid throws in some of the most basic route trees.
Right.
And I don't want to harp too much on them, but
we're not bashing anybody.
No. I'm just saying in general.
Right?
I don't want to go through too much through that region and fine comb it.
Yeah.
But what I will say is I truly believe when it comes to the stronger passing game, I think that Woodbridge has it in that region.
Yep.
I think when it comes to the stronger running game, I think that Battlefield has it. I think when it comes to the more balanced team, I think Battlefield still has it. When it comes to if you allow me to go 12 rounds without knocking me out before 4 quarters, that's Patriot all day.
Yeah. Sean's gonna have that team ready to run through a wall.
Yep.
I mean, so outliers for me this season. Excuse me, let me get up. Outliers for me this season would be West Springfield.
Okay.
They came up first in their region, so I believe that West Springfield is Region C, and they're in that district with Lake Braddock. We know Ty. We've seen Ty in 7-on-7. We saw Ty last year in the state semis against Madison. They have a good offense.
Yeah.
They have a quarterback. Now, unfortunately, they lost their running back to a torn ACL, Peyton Holmes, and they had a run game, which we mentioned. Had they had that last year, it may have been a different state semis.
Yep.
They had that this year, but unfortunately now I don't know who the backup that took over for Peyton is, but they had a run game. I mean, Peyton had 11 TDs on the season. That's according to Max Preps. That could be different. Sometimes coaches don't update, but 11 TDs, and we're in week 9, and he was out 2 weeks ago. So what does that put us? Week 7, 11 touchdowns. That's pretty good.
Right.
But West Springfield has shocked me, coming in and taking the number 1 seed, winning the district for their side. I wasn't expecting it. Now, we can all talk about the infamous photo they shoot that they did in South County.
Lord. It's a good thing they won the district.
Right, and beat South County. Because that would have been, the internet would have fried you for that.
Yeah.
Would have fried you. And South County, kudos to you guys for being second. Lose your coach last season, basically have to bring in a new staff, and
had a rough beginning of the season too.
Very rough. They did not start off well. So to bounce back and finish off 6-3, I mean, that's kudos.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm interested to see what that side shakes out. I know that West Springfield plays Lake Braddock next Friday.
In a game that doesn't really mean anything, right?
At this point, it doesn't.
Yeah.
But local guys, Skinner wouldn't sit us.
Yeah.
Skinner wouldn't sit us.
Yeah.
We were saying maybe they should rest their starters, but Skinner wouldn't have sat us. So we'll see how that one plays out. I know that we didn't really get a chance to get out to the Liberty District, and we didn't get a chance to see Yorktown or Langley, but we did see WNL.
I really like WNL.
I like that Braden Black kid too.
Yeah. I do.
28, the running back. Mm-hmm. He's a stud, bro.
He is a stud. Again, I'm a fan of pounding that rock, man. I'm a fan of pounding. I think what really impressed me about WNL is how technically sound they are. They play some really, really good technique, and they're very disciplined on defense. You got a bunch of crazy white boys up there in that side of the beltway, and they like football up there.
They do,
and
they play hard. They showed up to Westfields on homecoming
and beat them.
That's
right,
convincingly.
Yeah.
So I mean, the way that game.
They took their soul away from them in that last drive.
They did.
They really did. I think Black got the ball every single play. I think he went 5 for 70 in that drive, where he literally just took the life from them, and then. With a lot of time left, Westfield was Westfield. They tried to force the pass. Yeah. I think we saw 3 drops in that last drive.
Big drops that should have been catches. I mean,
none of them were to Malachi.
None of them were to Malachi, which is crazy. None of them were to Malachi. Ryan, throw the ball to Malachi. If you're gonna throw it to Malachi, please. Okay, so we're not gonna glaze anymore, right? But
but when you talk about that area, I don't think it matters who comes out of that area, because I don't think they're beating anybody from the Concorde side, and I don't think that they're beating anybody from that side of the state.
So
yeah,
we're talking about WNL, right?
Right.
We saw that great game.
We did
that they did against Westfield.
Mm-hmm.
The following week they lose to Centerville.
Exactly.
So we're talking about we're still gonna be talking about the Concorde at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And we're not trying to jock the Concorde because we played in the Concorde, but it's just this is what this area puts out, and these teams in the Concorde just seem to find their way down to the South when the season's over.
Right. And I don't think Black played again in some of those big games in the district.
No, probably not. I know he got hurt during the Centerville game.
Right.
It was an ankle sprain, so it wasn't anything like crazy serious hurt.
Right, but that would probably affect you for multiple games going in district, right? So I would imagine that. And they ride a lot on him. Mm-hmm. That's a guy that you can give the ball 30 times a game, and he's going to make it work for you.
Right.
So they probably had to change their game plan mid-season. I still like I mean, that side is going to play, hypothetically, right? You could see a WNL West Springfield for the region. I don't like any team that passes heavy in November.
No.
You know how I am, man.
But it's true. We talk about this. You guys can go back and watch all the podcasts. We talk about you have to run the football in November, and no team is going down the states being pass heavy.
No.
It's multiple episodes. Go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Hit the subscribe.
Yeah, I just, the teams that go down to beat the, other than a Noah Kim Westfield, who's able to do the unthinkable, the super exception.
Yep. Oakton Keith Paynes.
The Oakton Keith Paynes, right? Shutting down Percy Harvins,
right? That's a run game.
Those are run game, the heavy run games. The South County year that South County won their
heavy run game.
Madison, when Madison goes down there, they're heavy run game.
How am I blanking on the coach from Centerville who won states after Skinner? I literally just
saw
him.
Coach Haddock.
Heavy run game.
Right? They run that crazy ass wing T or whatever the hell offense with the 3-headed monster. So
funny.
Yeah, I mean they heavy good defense, heavy run game, and I don't see too many people making it out of the area
without a run game.
Now I think it's goofy how they do the playoff setting.
Oh.
Like if I were to choose my final four, it's probably going to be Colonial Forge versus Oscar Smith. Mm-hmm. And on the other side, you're probably going to see something like a Centerville or Westfield versus I'm going to say a West Springfield or WNL.
No Braddock this year?
I don't.
Again, heavy pass game.
Heavy
right?
pass
heavy
game,
pass
man.
game. Yep.
I don't. And you said it this year. This year they had a run game, and they relied heavily on that run game.
And
it worked, right? And so you're not changing your entire playbook halfway through the season and changing your personnel and saying, guys, philosophically, we're going to change our entire identity on offense, and it's going to work out for us, and we're going to have the same success. We already see in the wins and losses that we're not seeing the same success.
Not at all.
Right? And so I don't believe that. I think that first round bye for West Springfield is going to help them. Mm-hmm. And it's going to put a lot on film and see what type of team they're going to get in South County and Lake Braddock. And I think both of them have been there before. Right, they've beaten both of those teams, right? So, I think that West Springfield has the upper advantage because you play one of your potential foes in the last game of the season. Whether you decide to rest or whether you decide to play, you still have you have them on film.
And that loss can put them further down.
Could put them further.
Could move Lake Braddock further down, which could move you.
It could move you, right? Exactly.
Could move you out.
But the point I'm trying to make is you have the ability to undress the team that you're eventually mayhaps see in the playoffs. In a game that doesn't mean anything for you, it means everything for them.
Right, you put your vanilla offense, vanilla defense,
exactly.
and you let them throw everything at you.
Exactly.
And now you have it on film.
And then whatever you get on film, you have the following week when they play South County in the first round of the playoffs to undress them again. And so how do you beat that? Like, how do you get out of that? How do you escape that? Now, when they play a WNL, sorry, Langley, I just don't. It's hard to respect the Langley. And there's no shade, but all the shade at the same time.
I'm about to say it's kind of shade. Like
I'll be the villain.
I'm gonna give Langley that respect because I'm impressed with what they've done this year.
Cool.
Because from our time playing, Langley was we'd look at that schedule and say when there's certain games that we knew were wins, and Langley unfortunately during our time was one of them. So to see what they did. And they went to the wire with Westfields. They did lose, but they went to the wire. And the fact that they were able to go to the wire probably speaks volumes to all the points we made about Westfields early in the beginning, right? Like, what were you doing in that game? Why they were able to hang with you?
Yeah, exactly.
But good on them. Are there any players or any just general surprises or shout out? Like what is it? We covered all the basics. We're going to talk about honorable mentions. That's what I'm looking for. Are there any honorable mentions that you saw this season, or maybe you read about this season that you were like, hey, I was impressed with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, there's two teams that I want to be able to mention. The first team is a team that I know. That I know the coach, some of the coaches personally, from the freshman all the way up to the varsity level. I think that they are not necessarily one or two plays away, but 2 or 3 deep positions away from really becoming regional contenders, and that's Forest Park.
Okay.
I think that when you're able to run the rock at the capacity that they're running, and I think when you're able to play the sound defense that they're playing, it's going to breed success at any level. And if you know where Forest Park is in Manassas, it's not like they have the population. It's not like they have all the resources that a lot of other schools have. They have a community that supports them, and they have a hell of a coaching staff. And to take a team like that that's traditionally been struggling, and to be able to bring them through the gauntlet and have the success that they've had, I truly believe that if you give it a couple of years, and if those coaches can get the community to buy into them, and if they can establish a rapport with the youth community and stop letting their youth go to different programs and play for other people, which inevitably they get plucked from the pipeline.
Right.
I think that you can see some really solid success with them. The second team I want to mention is Oakton.
Yes.
They're very young.
Yes, they are.
Very young team, very scrappy. That's a team that's 2 or 3 plays away from being 8-1 right now, 9-1 right now.
I think that's where they're heading next year.
Yeah. It very well could be. I will say, and probably shouldn't say, right? If that team that program could prevent itself from internally imploding, right, with some of the stuff that's going on internally, I think that they can turn it around. And it's nothing nefarious that they're doing on their end. It's all it's a bunch of brothers that are just trying to support one another, and they don't necessarily care what jersey you wear or what team you're coaching for.
Right.
And I give all the credit to that program and what they're trying to do for the area, and not necessarily just for themselves. But that Jones kid, dog.
Oh, man.
That Jones kid.
Jones kid is truth.
He's an all-Mac guy.
True. He better be.
Yeah.
He better be.
Yeah.
So for me, I think we were told about Mount Vernon before the season started, and we said, you guys were 0 or 2 and whatever last year. I got to give credit where credit's due. Mount Vernon is 6-3 right now.
Okay.
I'm impressed to see the turnaround from just an awful season they had last year. And yes, they have a new coach, so my hat's off to him. Now, unfortunately, we haven't had time to go out there, get to the players. But I'm just happy to see that Mount Vernon football this year is doing what they're supposed to be doing. And, of course, again, I said this, new coach. Mm-hmm. So I need to see this repeated next year because you're young, too. You're not you're not senior heavy. You're young.
Okay.
So your athletes are going to come back.
Okay.
And we will be able to see if you can sustain this, I don't want to say surprise success, but first year success.
Sure.
Because it's the first year. And all those first year head coaches, as we say, we watch NFL, they don't got film on you. Now they're going to have film on you next year. So Let's see how you bounce back. You stole Oakton from me.
Hey man, we can agree on Oakton.
So
who is your goddamn? You made me look like an idiot. Pick of the year.
I'm sorry to do this to you. I'm sorry. With Coach Curry, Chantilly.
No,
Come on.
no.
I thought they were going to do it. I had so much confidence in
man.
Chantilly this year. I did. I really did.
Not our dog.
He's our dog. That's why I said I apologize first. That's why I apologized out the break. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I really had so much hope and faith. And him and I have talked. We talked after the Centerville Chantilly game, and he goes, you know, it's funny that you put that post up the day of the game about handing the dirt. And he's like, we get forced to pass because Centerville just bum rushed us.
That's so funny.
So that was one that just fell out of my pocket. I was like, oh. And now again, Centerville guy, but impressed with Centerville when they played them. I was just expecting Chantilly to do more and be more. And I'm going to probably stay in the Concorde. South Lakes.
Okay.
After that Battlefield game, I'm like, oh, you guys are good. Like,
Yeah.
you lost on a kick return. That's a rarity to happen. You flip a coin 100 times, that's going to happen once, right? I really expected more, and then watching them just the bottom fall out on South Lakes, and now they played Centerville tough. Mm-hmm. They almost 49. 35, I believe this final was Centerville South Lake. So they had a chance to beat Centerville, which would have turned everything back around. But South Lake's bottomed out. I was expecting more out of them, especially from the years we spent with them and seen them in the past. We know what kind of program they have. They have a great head coach. They have a great staff. And they turn out athletes because of their youth program, which is a big thing for us, your youth program turning out athletes. So I think, for me, it was the two Concorde teams. And everyone can't be good in the Concorde. But I was expecting more parity inside of the Concorde this year and didn't get it. Centerville just kind of ran away with it.
Right.
And good on them. You've had some down years, so good on you guys for running away with that.
We're expecting more 6 and 3s this year, 7 and 2s.
Right.
At least one more, right?
At least one more to shake it up and really like have to go another bracket to figure out who's going where, right?
PowerPoints.
So,
Yep.
So those are me. Those are my, oh, man, god dangs.
Yeah, I think for me it was Gainesville. Oh, man, right? You had Coven Smith came out last year and really put that place on the map and put the team on his back. And we said he put the team on his back, but we didn't realize how much he put the team on his back.
He really put the team on his back.
Yeah, because when you have freak athletes like that on the outside and they're wide receivers and a pretty good quarterback and an athletic quarterback, and a youth program that feeds powerhouses, right? Your record, in my opinion, should look very similar to Battlefield and Patriots record.
Right. You're supposed to be the top 3.
Right.
That was what we were expecting when the season started. Those are the top 3.
Yeah. And I really think maybe this year was their bounce back year. Maybe there's some youth that we didn't see. Or maybe there was just games that got away from them that didn't necessarily had to get away from them at the time.
Looking at their scores, I think they're a 1 or 2 play team away in like 3 or 4 games, which changes their record completely. Yeah,
and then the second team for me that made me look like a fool this year was Colonial Forge, because I didn't expect Colonial Forge to have the season that they're having.
Amazing.
They usually lose those close games. That we've seen them play traditionally in the past few years. Like, man, why would you do that at the end of the game? That shoots themselves in the foot. But this year, they're making it a point to not even get to the point where they're in close games.
Nope.
Because they're beating the dog shit out of everybody, with the exception of Riverbend. And I don't even know what the hell's going on at Riverbend.
Oh,
what's going on down there? Right? We might see a Maury Riverbend state champion. Well, I don't think that's possible.
Is it?
Oh, wait, no, because Riverbend would play Stonebridge.
Yes. So
right,
it is
in the
possible.
Playoffs. Right.
Yeah,
So
Riverbend lost to Briar Woods, which
right.
That was last year. That should never happen.
Yeah. I mean, listen.
That should never happen.
Anyways.
All right, so Colonial Forge ended up at 8-1.
8-1, 9-1, yeah. 8-1, yeah. And they were, they've been convincingly beating people. I didn't expect that from them this year. I expected them to be your 7-3 type of team.
6-4?
6-4 type of team. Okay. And they really have been a very convincingly 8-1 team.
It respects the Colonial Force, man.
Super respect.
Hats off.
Yeah.
So, let's get into it, right?
All right, man.
We're here.
Yeah.
We got the backdrop. We got the kids from St. James warming up. We got the kids from in their black jerseys from St. Francis in the back. We gave our predictions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to see what these two teams do. But this is the game of the year.
Yeah.
So hands down, we gave our predictions already, right? So it's like we can't run that back. So let's see if I want to see what St. James opens up with. Coin toss matters. If you win, do you take the ball or do you defer? Me personally, I would always defer, try to steal extra possession at the end of half before I know I'm getting the ball back at half. Not nationally ranked as high as St. Francis. St. Francis is 2 nationally ranked and number 1. But it's number 1 in Maryland versus number 1 in Virginia, and we have athletes all over the field. I just want this game to be good. I think it's gonna be close. You gave it a gap.
It's a little lopsided.
You gave it a gap.
Yeah.
What are your expectations? I want a good game.
Yeah.
Like, what are your expectations? I don't want to blow out.
Yeah. I expect the game to be very physical. I expect it to be chippy on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
If you know anything about the DMV football culture, Virginia is always seen as a little bro, especially when the WCAC is primarily in Maryland and D.C. They feel like, A, they're better than us, right? They have better athletes than us, and then B, even if you do have good athletes, we're gonna pluck them and recruit them anyway.
The WCAC don't want no smoke with any of these teams.
So to have a Virginia team that keeps Virginia kids in Virginia, I think it's amazing, and I really expect for Virginia to put on. And we're going to see exactly how St. Francis responds when if they can get punched in the mouth. Right. If St. James is to come out and swing and land on the first hit, or just land in the first couple minutes and swing the momentum just slightly in their way, I think it's going to be interesting to see how a team like St. Francis, who has success over the past couple of, few years, 5 years, how they respond. It's also going to be interesting to see how they respond when they're down, if they ever get down. Say the score ends up 14-0 in the first two drives.
Oh, okay. Well, early.
Right, early. Like, hypothetically, let's say you give up a big play and then your quarterback comes out the next play and it's a botched snap and then you give up another big play. How do you respond when it's 14-0 and there's only 3-4 minutes left or that have been taken off the clock?
It's very rare they've been down.
Right. What I will say is that when we did our market research years ago, we have said and we've known that the DC metropolitan area per capita gives out the most scholarships per capita in all the country, with the exception of the Bible Belt when it comes to football. If you include basketball and baseball into that equation, the DC metropolitan area is number 1. What this game means for this area, it is showcasing and it is highlighting the talent that comes from the Mid-Atlantic, from the nation's capital. This area is so potent with talent, and it's so... the kids in our area convincingly dominate and change programs. It doesn't matter where you go. If you're from this area, you're impacting programs not only on the field, but off the field as well. You can go to Virginia and you can see all the kids that have talent, right? But they're going to give you the GPA and they're going to give you the personality that you want. You can go to Maryland and you're going to find in DC and you're going to find families deeply rooted in inner cities that are traditionally like good families, really solid families. And what I love about this area is that it rids of a lot of stereotypes when it comes to what a successful football family means, right? Not all successful football families come from lower ends of the socioeconomic spectrum. There are people in this country who don't need football to get out.
Right.
They choose football.
They choose this game.
They choose the game. And in some capacities, right, one could argue that means a lot more than needing the game. choosing to love the game, right? Because why would I want to put my body through this type of chaos?
I was just about to say that.
Right? If it doesn't mean something to me. And so when you come to the DMV and when you come to this area, you're getting high football IQ, you're getting high caliber athletes, you're getting high caliber personnel, you're getting high caliber families, you're getting high caliber academics. And what a great opportunity for us to see DC or Maryland versus Virginia in that environment, and these two teams representing exactly what the DC metropolitan area football is all about.
You know what this game just reminded me of? The Super 44.
The Super 44,
This
that's
is
right.
what it feels like, because we have kids in the academies now,
Right.
all over from Virginia.
Yeah,
They did. And
why
then
don't you explain to everybody what the Super 44 was before? Because a lot of people
probably don't
remember it, or they're transplants in the area and they don't know what it is.
So during our time, I graduated in 2001 and played from 98 through 2000, and there was always one big game a year where Maryland and DC together would play against Virginia. And it was the last game of the season after States was done. You'd come back and these teams would play. This game tonight has that feel based on the fact that we have kids in academies and VA from all over different parts of Virginia and now most of the East Coast. And then we know that St. Francis also has kids from all over the country on their team. But we're representing Virginia on one side and Maryland and we'll say DC on the other side. And it gives us that Super 44 vibe. And this is something this area has been lacking. And that's why I said this is the biggest game of the year.
Yeah.
Two undefeated teams, number one in Virginia, number one in Maryland, and we're clashing under the lights at the Under Armour Stadium.
Yeah.
Super nice.
Yeah. All right, man. How do you want to wrap this up? Any final words?
Nah, man. I'm just excited. I'm ready to get on this sideline and start catching some touchdowns.
Yeah.
Guys, make sure you're tapping in with Dog Visors. At Dog Visors is our social media handle across all social media platforms. www.dogvisors.com. If you need your videos, photography, we can tap in and we can take care of all that for you.
Yeah. And one of the things that I'm proud to say is that we just got verbal confirmation from St. James that they want to continue working with Levels and Dark Visors. And what that essentially means for kids is they can use our platform at the St. James. They can use our platform to put their highlights, to create their highlights, put their statistics, and actually talk to coaches and market themselves to coaches on the app. What that means for us as a team is we're actually going to be in the pocket with these kids, teaching them what it means to transition from high school, being a high school athlete to a college athlete, teaching them about NIL, teaching them about the recruiting process, what it means to market yourself, what it means to brand yourself, and really highlight them as an individual, both on and off the field, be able to put it on a dope ass platform like Levels, and then take that net of athletes to St. James, at St. James, and wherever universities that we go to, whatever universities that we have networks with, which are hundreds and hundreds of universities
connected,
right? We're going to take that net of fish, the athletes, and we're going to bring it to these coaches. So if you want to become part of that net in this big pond full of big fish, if you want to be captured in that net that's being put in front of coaches every single week, why don't you go ahead into your Apple store and download Levels Recruiting and start to build your profile now. It's free for athletes, which I think is
that's the biggest thing.
That's the biggest thing. It's free for athletes. People have to understand that we don't do this for recognition.
No.
We don't do this for clout.
Nope.
We don't do this for.
We're not follow chasers.
We're not follow chasing. I don't even want you to become fans of us.
Right.
We're fans of you.
Exactly.
All right. We are fans of you. We're fans of the athletes in the community. As guys who have been there and have played at different levels, we understand what it takes to get there, and all we're trying to do is bridge the gap.
And help you get to your next get through your dreams. You want to get to the next level, we're trying to help you get there.
Literally, the next level.
And it's free.
And it's free. FREE.
FREE.
And then, man, go ahead.
No,
you want to plug something in?
No, I was
yeah, man. No, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for, it's not easy traveling, and lugging all this equipment around. And I'm really happy and very fortunate and blessed to to just have this opportunity with you, man.
With
I mean,
us,
bro,
with the guys behind the camera, man.
Yeah, man, like, bro, we
made it.
We are here at Under Armour headquarters.
Yes.
And you know, anybody who knows our story knows that we fucking come a long way, bro.
All
right.
We were here 4 years ago.
4 years ago with LeVar. As he was giving us
shout out LeVar.
Shout out LeVar Lebedel. And he's giving us a tour,
Right.
and the very next day I fucking tear my knees up. Right. So, but before I start to get a little bit emotional, man, I have to think, and I have to thank God.
Yes, absolutely.
Continuously thank God. Just about like how the different type of opportunities He's put us in front of. We don't necessarily do this for the money or anything like that. We do this because we genuinely want to help kids. And I never asked to be invited out here. You know, we never asked to continuously have an impact on people's lives, but we're constantly being presented with the opportunity. And man, from the bottom of my heart to you, bro, no Elon Musk. Right? No Elon Musk. I truly appreciate you and genuinely appreciate everything that you do for us and everything that you do for our team, man. Thank you. Thank you for
the opportunity to be your business partner, to be your teammate. Now went from coaching you to now playing with you, right? We play together on this team. And from where we started to where we are, I could reciprocate and tell you thank you. I mean, you've been the driving force, and I'll say this on camera because I say it to your face all the time when the cameras aren't running. You're the only person in my life that I've met that has blinders on and said, well, we're going to get to a goal point, and the track hasn't moved, the train has kept moving. It may have slowed down sometimes, but you came and shoveled more coal, turned the fire on, and pushed the train kept going. And look where we are today. I can't get over this. This backdrop is the best backdrop we've ever had for a football game, and it's just the beginning. So, bro.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
All right, bro.
All right, man.
Levels out.
Dog Vibes is out.